Oh, my friends, welcome to our Sunday gathering. We're so grateful you are here. It is the 5th of October in 2025 here in the Northern Hemisphere. I know for our friends in New Zealand and Australia, you've already hit October 6th. Whatever season you're moving into, whatever day it is for you, a warm welcome. I'm Sandra Champlain, hostess with the mostest, they call me. Always happy to be here. I'm joined today by the wonderful medium Barbara Felder from Ohio in the United States and Tim Southwell from Ontario, Canada. Seeing in the chat box, I know we've got people from all over the world here. Each week we gather, yes, we do, to inspire, to empower, to come together as a community with the knowing that our loved ones are still around, that the afterlife is real, that we will see them again. So we have a medium demonstration later on in our Sunday gathering. We do everything we can, though, to inspire and empower. And just before we began today, we were talking about life being the toughest part of our soul's journey. So while some weeks we have a theme to our Sunday gathering, some weeks it's words of the heart. And I know I'm going through my stuff, and I'm sure Tim and Barbara are too. And so, words from the heart really is what we are inspired to share because as human beings, I have a pretty sneaky suspicion what we're going through. Everybody is, at different times. And then I know the changing of the seasons can bring that on as well. So for today, Barbara will be kind enough to do our opening prayer and Tim our closing prayer. Both Barbara and Tim will share in the address and the medium demonstration. I will be doing the reading today, leading you into healing, the announcements, and all those little bits in between. So whatever it is that brought you here to the Sunday gathering, we welcome you. If you, for any reason, have to leave a little bit early or you joined late, the link that you use to join is the replay link, if you didn't know that. So welcome one and all, and I'm going to turn it over to Barbara for our opening prayer.
Get me unmuted. This is such a treat to be here today. And what I'd like all of us, even though I can't see anybody except Sandra and Tim, which is maybe a good thing, what I'd like all of us to do right now is just to take a moment, close your eyes, and just take a moment and center yourself. Leave behind any of the issues, the thoughts, the cares that went on previously, and just be in the moment. And even though we are individuals, we are still a collective of souls. We all source from the one mind, the one power, the one creator. Each one of us is created from the same source. That source gave us life. That source gave life to the plants, to the trees, to the flowers. They breathe. We breathe. That source of life gave life to all the animals that are on the planet. They breathe. We breathe. The fish, the waters, all that we see, we are part of that creation. We are part of this moment. So I invite you to just take a moment. Just take that moment and get in touch with that part of you, that life source of you that created you, that is untouched by circumstances, that is untouched. It is pure. Allow yourself to just bask in the moment of your creation. And I know that this divine service is in perfect order, that all that needs to be heard is heard, all that needs to be seen is seen, all that needs to be felt is felt. The service is whole, perfect, and complete, surrounded by the love, the light of God of Spirit. And I know that this love, light, God of Spirit surrounds each and every person that is here today, each and every person that is listening to this broadcast. And I give thanks to be in this moment, in this time, in this presence. I give thanks for the life that is imbued within me. I give thanks that I am allowed the free will to create who I am, what I am, where I want to be. I give thanks for all that is. And I release my word, knowing it shall not come back to me void, that this love, that this light continues on and uplifts all of us here today, this morning, this afternoon, this evening. I am blessed. You are blessed. We are blessed. And this is all a blessing. Thank you, God. Thank you, Infinite Spirit. Thank you, oneness of life. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you so much, Barbara. My reading today, I named it Life Lessons from a Dog. Sometimes we search for wisdom in ancient books or from faraway gurus. We try to wrap our minds around life's biggest spiritual concepts like love, forgiveness, service, and faith. And sometimes the greatest teacher we could ever ask might be at our feet, wagging its tail. This past week, I was struggling a bit with worries and the weight of the world and some things in the future. And I was on Facebook and I saw a picture of a homeless man with a beautiful golden retriever dog cuddled up to him. And I realized that dogs can be our best teachers. And personally, I found myself going back to a dog that I had years ago. Her name was Daisy, and I got to name her, and we got her when she was a puppy. And I share these life lessons from Daisy. And as I do, if you have had a dog in your past, or you can just imagine one, and you felt the love, this unconditional love of a four-legged friend, they say dog spelled backwards is God. And I really do think that we can learn a lot about love from these wonderful beings. So the first lesson Daisy taught me, of course, was about unconditional love. I'd come home and maybe I'd be upset about the day, or I'd have a disagreement, or there was some heaviness or sadness, but Daisy didn't care. She didn't analyze my mood, and she just wanted to love me and make me happy. She'd wag her tail when she saw me. She'd rest her head on my lap and look at me with those beautiful eyes that say, I'm here. I love you. I'm your friend, no matter what. She taught me that love isn't a reward for good behavior. It's a constant, steady presence. And folks, it's our default setting. Daisy taught me about forgiveness. I know I've rushed around or I didn't see her and I'd accidentally perhaps step on her tail. Of course, she'd let out a little cry and my heart just broke. And of course, I'd apologize and just hug her. But what did she do? Daisy didn't hold a grudge. She didn't retreat to a corner or make me bad and anything like that. 2 seconds later, she was just wagging her tail again, or she'd pick up her favorite ball or toy for me to throw it, licking my hand as if to say, Sandra, it's okay. I've already forgotten. She taught me that forgiveness is simply the choice to return to love in the very next moment without keeping a record of wrongs. Daisy also taught me about service. And she wasn't a service dog, but she always seemed to have sense to my moods. She could disappear for a moment and come back with her favorite toy. Of course, it was absolutely slobbered on and often squeaky, and she'd plop it right in my lap. She wasn't looking for a reward. She just offered me something she treasured the most, hoping it might make me feel better. Or, of course, that's the meaning I put to it, but it sure felt like that's what she was doing. Or she'd give me her paw or rest her head on my lap. Her service was the pure overflow of that golden retriever heart. She taught me that being of service is not about grand gestures, but just about sharing joy selflessly with others. And finally, Daisy taught me about faith. She lived in a state of absolute trust, of course. She had faith that the sun would rise, that the food bowl would be filled, and that the door would open for a walk. Daisy didn't carry baggage from the past. In fact, you'll never see a dog on a psychiatrist's couch saying, "Oh, I can't get over what happened at the park yesterday," or, "Oh, I'm worried because I haven't found my life's purpose yet." And of course, you'll never hear a dog complaining, "Oh, I never knew my dad." A dog's purpose is to live with complete faith in the goodness of the present moment, savoring every nap and moment in the sun. So, what are these life lessons from Daisy and maybe your dogs that have taught us over the years? Be quick to love, my friends. Be even quicker to forgive. Share your joy freely and trust in the goodness of this day. Dogs live in a state of grace and they never weigh themselves down with the baggage of resentment or worry. So, as we go into our healing, which is next, we're going to listen to a song about forgiveness and moving forward. Let's take a lesson from our four-legged friends, whether they're past or present. Let's try to forgive ourselves as well as others quickly. Let's release the baggage, let go of the echoes of the past, and let's choose to live in the simple, joyful, loving present moment. And if you want to wag your tail, please do. We're going to go into our healing now, and this is just an opportunity to listen to a beautiful song. Send our healing prayers to those in need in the world. And there's no right way or wrong way to do this. If you just say, use me, friends, for whatever you can get from me to send healing to the world, or sometimes you can picture people who need some healing or a situation perfectly whole and complete, resolved, healed in a perfect way. Instead of looking for what's wrong, look for what's right. And those in the unseen world, I 100% believe, take our healing love and energy and they deliver it to where it's needed in the world. And certainly anytime we offer it, some comes right back to us. So after the song, the next voice you'll hear is Tim. He will lead us for our address, followed by Barbara. So let me play that song for you now.
Thanks, Sandra, and good to see you again. And Barbara as well. It's been a while since I've actually got to talk face to face with you again. It's good to do so. And hello, everybody. That song has some beautiful moments in there, and that's kind of where I'm going to live for a second or two. It's that falling upward kind of message. And as always happens, music and the words spoken ahead and after, it's just somehow blend together. And in that, I mean, for instance, that Sandra was talking about the past and the future, worrying about the past, worrying about the future. I'm going to talk about that in a second. So if you take the idea of falling upward, I don't know if you like action movies like I like action movies. And I'm thinking even like Superman, you know, when he seems to be crushed or, you know, that kryptonite happens and we all have our own kryptonite too, right? And you know he's especially the latest movie. He's crushed, it seems, pretty much. But then he finds somehow the ability to shoot up into the air, and for him, getting exposed to the sun gives him that power. And to us, I think when we can pull it together, and we'll talk about that too. When we can pull it together, we can shoot through and actually heal ourselves, as the song said. And another key part of that song that we just heard is loving deeper. That to me is a kernel I want to go back to. Um, so not just falling upward, but also I'm thinking spiraling upward as well. You know how we always talk about, oh, I'm spiraling down, and we hit that low point. You know, sometimes you can walk into the washroom when you flush the toilet, you go, yep, there's my life, and there's where it's going in that direction. Well, I'm going to change that direction. Let's go to another movie. Think of The Wizard of Oz. Dorothy and her journey, just like we all have our journeys. Dorothy and her journey really begins when she starts spiraling upward. She wouldn't have learned those lessons, lived those things if she hadn't taken, well, she didn't have much of a choice, did she? But still, she went upward and upward and upward in that spiraling sort of way. So, as Sandra said, looking at the past is valuable sometimes, but if we hook our anchor to the past, it drags us down. The past is good. It takes us to where we've been, where we are now in this moment. And it brought us here. We've learned so much from it. And as the song said, the longer I live, basically the more that I have to look back upon, the wider view I get, almost like spiraling upward. I get a bigger view of where I've come from. But then that's where we tend to need to leave it. And I'm going to talk about the times in which, of course, we feel that it is being really rough. We're having a rough day, a rough time. It can last longer than days. Absolutely. I'm sure we all know that. And finding ourselves in the moment here. And when we're in those moments, we often are thinking a lot about ourselves. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, because we do need to heal ourselves. We do need to look at ourselves, what's going on. And I'm not talking about self-pity either. I feel actually that there are pieces for that too. Looking at things that we might feel sorry about for ourselves, that's part of that journey. We have to kind of work our way through here in order to figure out what is my responsibility, what is not my responsibility. So if we take a look at ourselves, where we are in the moment, we can leave the past for a while. We can stop thinking about what I need to do for the next week, month, year, 12 years, because it's going to change anyway, likely. I can never think of any plan of mine that hasn't changed. And instead say, okay, I can give myself a break of that and think of in the moment. And we hear people saying, you know, get grounded, take off your shoes, walk in the sand, walk in the grass. Absolutely. Whatever it takes to be in that moment. And the reading about the dog, I absolutely love dogs. So the moment, you know, I would come home and just pet the dog, the worries of the day just kind of disappeared. They didn't matter as much at all. So animals are often a thing that we can use to get us ourselves back into this moment. And then we can look at who it is. What is our journey? If our past is there, what's brought us to this particular moment? What kind of tool can I get to get that spiral upward rather than in a mindset think it's going downwards? I'm going to offer a simple solution. Maybe too simple, but we'll see. Music. Music, I don't know if, again, if you're like me, whether you'll be walking down the street, taking a walk, or cleaning up around the home or whatever, and songs just pop into your head. Whether you sing to them or not, whether there's an audience or not, or whether you don't want to have an audience, that doesn't matter. Whether you're in the shower and a song comes to you, music is so powerful. It takes us back in the past. Gives us a sense of, yeah, that was a good time back then. And it also reminds us of favorite things that we have, favorite stories. I'm not going to start singing. It sounded like I was leading into that, but that's definitely not going to happen right now. But that music can help us anchor in the now. If we're able to start singing, start going through in ourselves a song that we like, even if we find a recording, if you go ask your computer to open up the songs, any songs, even just sort of a type of song, that's great. I love the lyrics to the song. I'm often forgetting what the lyrics are. So I need that to be playing. And once I'm playing in there, I forget about everything else. And somehow listening to music, even driving in a car, it brings me to a particular moment, and it seems like I can find some hope. And I think hope there is the key. There's a solution that seems to come to us when we have that peace of mind in the moment. And if that's the part that's getting a little bit troublesome, in order to get that spiral going upwards, then take a moment to listen to a song. It clears out the cobwebs. It distracts the mind from thinking too much. And there are times when we do need to plan, absolutely, but there are times where we can overdo it and get overwhelmed. And when we're thinking about self, that sometimes happens quite easily, actually. So I would often suggest that that music is what's going to take us there. And then that's the test that we're on our way, not just feeling better. But I'm going to leave with this thought, and that's this, as the song said, loving deeper. When I'm very worried about stuff, when there's a lot of action going on and I'm, kind of losing myself basically, or losing the plot, some could say that. Instead, I find that I can venture outside of myself, and that tends to crack that egg open. Listening to music, thinking of others to a degree, not what I have to do for them, but thinking about, I wonder where they are. I wonder what it was like for that person growing up from high school that I met. It could even be our loved ones who are here with us or past. Thinking of them often helps us. I'm trying to give like sort of a practical guide here to spiraling upward. um, with that last little bit, though, thinking of others, having those wonderful memories. Yes, the past, but we're not dwelling on the past. We're looking at moments in which we knew we were at peace. That can help crack that open and bring us to right now, here and now, so I can make some plans to start spiraling upward. And the last thing I'll leave with too is, as the song said, loving deeper is what I wanted to get to. That's often a clue that I've managed to kind of have a breakthrough, that I'm on the way up. And actually, I know I'm going further and further and further. The more I can feel that I'm loving deeper. Myself would be included in that, but more so loving outdoors, loving a dog, loving friends, just having that better feeling. It's like a breath of fresh air when all of a sudden all those clouds, all of that can disappear. And instead, I'm thinking about I'm actually enjoying a very lovely sunny day. And I don't need to worry about anything else, at least for a while. And that, I think, is our first step on spiraling upward. So thank you for listening to me, and I'll pass it over to Barbara.
Oh, thank you, Tim. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. I enjoyed it. I was preparing, not really preparing for the talk today. As this morning has unfolded this afternoon, isn't it wonderful that your thoughts all of a sudden you go, I'm in the right place at the right time doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And what has occurred to me today is dogs. I think this is fabulous because um, I have spent 57 years as a professional dog groomer. So my decade after decade after decade after decade after decade was spent 8 to 10 hours a day with 7 to 10 dogs. No people, nothing. And what a gift that has given me throughout my life. I could share so many dog stories that would be just so cool. But one I would like to share is as I was going through this journey as a groomer, that there are dogs that I ended up calling purpose dogs. And what, may you ask, is a purpose dog? Well, I would notice that some of the dogs would get illnesses, cancers, thyroid issues, different, I mean, severe kinds of illnesses. And then the dog would pass away. The person would get a new dog, and that dog would turn around and, even as a young animal, have the same exact illness. And the dog would pass away. Interesting, at times, the owner ended up with the illness. So purpose dogs ended up became blocker dogs. I understood that there were dogs that were meant to be blockers and prevent. And I thought, wow, this is so interesting. And the last one was a daughter-in-law ended up getting a German Shepherd, and it just it died 6 months in of heart failure. At the same time, her husband had major heart issues, emergency heart surgery. The dog passed, he lived. And he came to me and wanted me to let her know what a blocker dog was. So I just find the uh, dogs are just fabulous, fabulous entities around. Roundabout way getting to where I wanted to talk about today. And somebody very, not that I knew personally, but her journey was very inspiring to me. And she passed this week, Jane Goodall. And her love of animals and the way she changed how we viewed animals, how we related to animals. Her journey was so purposeful. And that brought me to the word purpose. And I realized that Jane had a purpose. And then when I went back a little bit, I didn't know this was going to happen in this talk, okay? When I went back a little bit, she knew when she was 11 years old that she was going to go to Africa. Beyond all odds, that's where she, at 11, was going to go. And I thought, wow, wow, how many powerful people follow their purpose? How many people, at a young age know that they have to be somewhere at some point in time? They don't know why, but they know they need to be there. And their journey unfolds. So that got me thinking a little bit, what happens with purpose? How I can have a purpose, but how come Jane had a purpose and look at what she accomplished? She didn't do it for her. She did it for in my opinion, she did it for a greater good. Wow. Barb, how did that happen? And for me, I came to the realization is the word believe. It is done unto you as you believe. Jane believed in herself. She didn't question at 11, oh, should I go to Africa? And what am I going to do in Africa? And what's my purpose? It was just this calling, this purpose. And she believed at 11 years old to put herself somehow, some way in Africa and let the whole journey unfold. And I thought, wow, wow. How does one get to that belief that is the core that you are able to push aside all of the excuses, all of not only in your head, but in the heads of other people, telling you what's good for you or why you can't do this or where you should go instead of how do we move past that and get to that part of us where we truly believe beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is where we need to be. I don't know why. I don't know why I need to be there. I don't know what's going to unfold. I don't know what the journey is. And I realize that there are times that, yeah, I almost had that belief, that I could do. I think really I had that belief when I got into dog grooming because I mean, I came from a family where my was fluent in 5 different languages, read them, write them. My father was very brilliant. My brother was very academic, and I wanted to be a dog groomer. And it was like, oh my God, Barb, what are you thinking? But that was something, that worked for me in my heart and my soul. So that put me in a place of going, wow, that's, just because you follow your belief, it doesn't mean you are a Jane Goodall. Thank God we have those people. But what it means is you're fulfilling your purpose. That's a scary thought because have you actually asked yourself, what is your purpose? Do you actually know? I feel my purpose at times is being able to communicate with those that cannot communicate. And I understand that. That's been part of my journey, part of my purpose. More to unfold for sure. I'm not ready to throw in the towel and say, been there, done that, and check out. I'm not ready for that. But I'd like to each and every one of you today question yourself. What is your purpose? Have you found it? Did you expand on it? Or did you find it and did you let others block you from going forward? For it is done unto you as you believe. Wow. You could spend hours in silence with yourself and hear the answers or hear the excuses. But I invite you to hear the answers today. And it's never too late. I thoroughly believe it's never too late to reinvent yourself because there's infinite possibilities out there, infinite choices of who we can be, what we can do. Um, what Mother Moses, didn't she create after 100? She created art that is so fabulous today. So you can't use the excuse that you're too old. You can't use the excuse that you don't have the skills, the abilities, the resources. You can only use the excuse that you, in my opinion, cut yourself short because you're in control. You've got it, the wheel in your hands. So I would be thoroughly excited to know at some point what you've decided to be when you grew up. Wouldn't that be fun to find out who we are when we grow up? So, but I will always have a dog, guaranteed. I got 2 now, so, but I will always have a dog for sure, and probably a cat too. Um, they just bring joy to my soul. Oh, and that's the other thing I'd like to share with you. And I had the I had the experience of knowing when my soul committed to this physical body. And it wasn't when I was born. No. It was when I was probably about 4.5, 5 years old. And my mom went to a place and got going to pick out a puppy. And this man picked me up, sat me in a pile of puppies, and all these is there's nothing better than puppy breath. And all these puppies just swarmed all over me. And I swear to God, that was the moment where my soul entered my heart. And I remember that so clearly that I made the commitment to do this life at that time. So I invite you to find your soul's commitment. I invite you to find your soul's purpose. And I invite you to stop using excuses of why it's not happening for you today. And I leave you with that challenge. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Barbara, and thank you, Tim. It's interesting how the spirit world has woven in the thread of animals today. And we love our cats too. We love horses. We love all critters. And there's something that we can learn from all of them and that unconditional love. So thank you both for that. We're going to move now into our demonstration of mediumship. And this is just the opportunity for our friends in the spirit world to say, hey, guys, we're still around. We're still a part of your life. We still love you. You can still talk to us. We are here and we're going to see you again. Now, just like Tim, Barbara, and I are your panelists here on Zoom, speaking on behalf of close to 150 people from around the world, we'll get a handful of loved ones. Barbara will work with two folks in the spirit world, so will Tim. And they represent all of our loved ones in the spirit world. So we'll have a few people that are with us today that will get readings, but I am 100% certain that our loved ones that come through on our Sunday gatherings really are here for all of us. And I know everyone prays that their loved one comes through, but a nice prayer might be for the person who needs it the most. Let their loved one come through. It might be a nice little prayer for us to do today. And the good news is we can kind of piggyback on those readings because I ask everyone to listen in as if these readings are for you. Pay attention to just how close the people are in the spirit world with the recipient today. Maybe there's something in the message that you say, oh, I really needed a little bit of that myself. So I do think those in the spirit world somehow are behind the scenes of our Sunday gathering, making it blend and weave in together. And so pull each and every demonstration towards yourself, like it's just for you. That being said, Barbara will lead us off in our medium demonstration, followed by Tim. And they come through the school of training of our friends Carrie and Phil. They will each identify or have the spirit person identify themselves to them. They're going to use everything they have. They might use Tim and Barbara's memories, their feelings. Sometimes it's music, sometimes it's a sense of smell or taste to describe themselves. So you'll hear them describe the spirit person that has reached out to them. Maybe male or female, maybe what they did for work, maybe the relationship. We never know because just like we're all individuals, so are those in the spirit world. And they're doing everything they can to project themselves, however they wish to, with Barbara and Tim. So we want you to be on the edge of your seat. They're going to describe this person. If this person is somebody that you know that no longer walks this earth, we want you to press your raise hand button. Now, this can be a friend, it can be a family member, it can be somebody you worked with, could be someone distant, could be somebody you didn't even think about for years. They work in wild and wonderful ways. But if you can understand all the information as, hey, I know that person, press your raise hand button. And I know we have lots of new friends here with us today. Find that raise hand button on your device and press it for me. Sometimes if you're on a phone or a tablet, you might need to press 3 little dots before the raise hand button pops up. Why this is so important is because sometimes we have people that can take most of the information, and sometimes people raise their hand, and lots of people raise their hand. And we first ask that you can take all the information. And sometimes there's more than one person that can take all the information. So either Barbara or Tim will continue to work with the person in spirit to give more details. So if you all of a sudden say, oh, I can't take that anymore, you'll notice the raise hand button has changed to lower hand. So why don't you all lower your hands right now? If you're someone who works with our medium today, or you ever, 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 ever have a medium reading, your job is simple. Let the medium do the work. Don't let the medium ask you questions. Let them supply the information. All we need from you is a yes, no, or I don't know to the information that they bring. Please don't feel bad if something doesn't fit. You can say no. No simply means a new opportunity to look for, what was it that I misheard or whatever. So yes, no, or I don't know. Integrity is everything. Just be honest with us, okay? And yeah, that's as easy as it is. And there's something else I was going to say. I'll figure it out when we get there. Oh, it's just for everyone else to please pull the readings forward, like I said before, as if the friends in the spirit world really are here for all of us, because I do believe they are here. So we're going to hear a piece of music. Sometimes we hear a feel-good piece of music that has us dancing under our, well, for me, under my desk here. Other times it's kind of more introspective songs. So Barbara's picked this song called Thank You for This Day. And while it's not a dance tune, I thought of a nice way to build our energy for our medium demonstration is as we're listening to the song, feel that sense of gratitude, whether it's gratitude for an animal you loved, whether it's gratitude for your loved one and the great times together. Take a walk down memory lane and really invoke that feeling of gratitude. So we'll offer that to the spirit world for our medium demonstration today. So let me play the song, and then we'll be back with Barbara for our demonstration. Great song. We're all feeling the gratitude. I just know it. So Barbara, we'll start with you. Thank you for being our medium today.
Thank you, Sandra. Thank you all for being here. And just remember, when you can't think of anything to pray, the prayer is thanks. Thank you. With that being said, I have Mom here, and a couple of things. You would know that you have a specific memory where Mom would hold you when you would cry or be upset. There was that closeness. But the reverse was also true, is that when Mom was passing, there was, you were, it, the reversal of roles. You would have held her, and you would have, the two of you would have cried and shared together. It's when you were younger and then when you were older, but you had a very, very close bond with your mom.
Okay.
The experience, that experience.
All right. If you can resonate with that information with Mom, press your raise hand button, please. We have three lovely ladies with their hands raised.
Or I can't see, so.
That's right. You trust me. We've got
Okay.
several with their hands raised. I'll do the
Okay.
work behind
All
the
right.
scenes.
I was waiting to see. Okay. Thank you, Sandra. All right. And Mom would have been a single parent, and you would have, mom and you would have shared the, you'd be more in a sister relationship at times too, that you would have.
All right, we had some hands go up
Yeah,
and some hands
great.
go down.
Okay.
Stacy, I'm just going to say
Um,
their names just in case they don't take all this. Stacy, oh, Stacy and Dana have their hands raised.
Okay.
I can take all the information.
And I'm feeling with your relationship with your mom that there would have been a significant dance that you wanted to go to, and she would have been instrumental in picking out the dress for this particular dance that you went to.
All right, that should narrow it down. I see Bonnie also has her hand raised. Stacy, Dana, and Bonnie. If you can take 100% of this information, including this special
They,
dress for the dance, keep your hands raised. If not,
they all
lower
left.
your hands. No, they all still have their hands raised.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm feeling that this particular dress that you needed, it would have been for like a baptism, a church.
Okay. We've had 2 hands go down. Oh, all the hands went down. Oh, Bonnie's back up. Let's talk to Bonnie. Bonnie G, you have your hand raised. If you can find that unmute button and press it. I know Bonnie's hand was going up and down, so it could be by accident or not.
Yes, it
Hi.
wasn't. Hi.
Huh?
It was an accident for the last one. I was trying to figure out my phone here.
Could you
Sorry.
take most of the information or no?
Oh, I could. I could take a good part of it. Not the last one though. Not the last
Not the
piece.
last one. Okay.
Yeah.
And same with Stacy and Dana. They put their hands down. So it's one of the 3, I do believe.
I've got Stacy with her hand up.
Yeah,
Stacy,
yeah,
there
you
you
just
are.
unmuted
Okay.
me. Hi. I got thrown with the baptism or church, but the dress that I had that was special, she had altered so we could wear it to a wedding.
Okay. That was in a church. But
It was a church, yes.
all right. And I feel, Stacy, this was when you were younger.
Yes,
Okay. A person. All right. Um, and so is Bonnie still, Bonnie did not have a dress, correct?
Oh, wow. Oh, no. Hmm.
No. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Bonnie. You keep listening in because
So,
loved ones
hey,
are with us.
yeah. So Stacy, I feel with you that I'm with you. So thank you. So Stacy, I feel like you and your mom had a very close, it was like a sister relationship, even though she was mom and guiding you.
that's correct.
And I'm feeling with your mom that she raised you by herself.
Yes,
And I'm feeling with her that she was a wise woman. I don't feel like she was an educated, I mean, not doctorate educated, but she had a wisdom and a grace about her that she implemented with you.
yes,
And that grace and I want to say it was almost like a secret society between the 2 of you.
yeah, I can understand that.
And I'm also feeling that there would be like code words and code signals that you would share between each other.
That's true. Yeah,
And I'm feeling with her that because of that, you could be in a massive crowd of people and you could have this communication going on and just be totally connected with one another.
correct.
And that was something she taught you too. She
That's correct.
she was a good teacher in that.
Yeah,
And I'm feeling with her that it was important because she was not of education. It was important to her that you developed an art, a skill, and education.
that's true. Yes,
And I feel this woman was someone that was very self-sacrificing.
at times.
So, for you.
Yeah,
Yeah. She had your back.
yes, she did.
Yeah, she had your back. But I'm also feeling that she was a woman that you would not want to cross unless
That's
you knew, yeah, unless you knew you could cross that line because I have a sense with her that she could take you down in a heartbeat.
We could, yes.
Yeah. And you witnessed her doing that upon occasion.
Oh yeah, I was a party of it, unfortunately, a lot
Yeah,
of
I
times.
was just going to say, yeah,
Oh, so
you got to experience that part of
yes,
it. And
sure
it,
did.
yeah, on that. And what's interesting to me about the relationship, when you were first born a child, you were, I don't want to say weak, but she was your strength in putting yourself together as a woman.
Very true, yes.
And then there became a pinnacle in your lives where you were like matched with energy.
Yes,
And I get the feeling from her that that was the two of you were like a powerhouse together.
yeah.
And I feel like there was, if you work together,
At times we did, yes.
yeah, because I'm feeling that working together, it wasn't you got two for one, you got an explosion,
Yeah,
the two of you together.
yep, that's very true.
And then the pinnacle kind of, she started slipping
Yes,
away
yes,
to
very true.
where your strength helped her weakness.
Yes,
Yeah. It was just, it's like having that bell curve where you started out and then up at the pinnacle, and now we're coming down into it. The
yeah,
fabulous thing about this, Stacy, is the sharing. You, she passed slowly, I feel.
she did, yeah.
So there was that time element where you could just relish in the days that went before.
Yes.
And you could relish in all that you created together. And
Mhm.
I feel like you and your mom would have shared the knowledge that this wasn't just love, but this was a spiritual love
Yeah, I think that would be accurate.
that you shared with each other. And
Right.
at the very end, there was a lot of tears. You
Mm,
didn't want her to go. She didn't want to go.
yes, true.
And it came, but it came to the point where there was that healing between the two of you through conversations of
Mm,
being able to, she helped you because she was going to go, and you were helping her because she was going to go.
it's very true. Yeah.
And there were a lot of tears, but the tears flowed from joy and happiness and stupid things to
All of
sadness.
yeah, the full gamut.
Yeah, the missing, the emptiness.
Yeah.
And Stacy, I feel recently that you've experienced that deep well of emptiness within yourself.
Yes.
And so she's been front of mind coming up because she was what helped keep you out of that empty.
That's very true. Yeah.
And so she's here today, Stacy, to let you know that whether seen or unseen, heard or unheard, felt or unfelt, you're not walking this journey alone from the moment you were born to the moment you guys hit pinnacle together to the moment that she left the physical body. She wants you to know that the journey still continues and she still has your back. And she wants you to know that you are cloaked. She's using the word cloaked with her love and her presence and her safety in whatever you are experiencing at this moment. She is with you, and I leave you with her, Stacy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Barbara. That meant a lot. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your mom with me. Yes. Wow. Okay. See where we go. Okay. All right. I feel I have, I have a young man here, and I have a young man here, and he would have had anxiety issues of just he was a very anxious person. And I feel, let me get a little bit more because part of his personality is he would hold back and really not want anybody to know anything about him. Um, but if you got to know him, he was pretty comical and pretty much a little bit of a trickster. And I feel he would have passed, uh, I want to say he was in youth, whatever youth is, when he passed. So early teenage years, youth, somewhere in there. Okay.
Thank you.
Two
If you
people.
understand this information, go ahead and raise your hand.
Okay.
We have Jennifer and
right.
Val.
Yeah. And this is, this would be your son. So I'm looking for,
For mom. Jennifer and Val, is that son to you? Okay, Val still has her hand raised. And of
okay.
course, Jennifer, keep
Yeah.
listening in.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Val. How are you?
Hi. Good, how are you?
Doing fine. So this is your son,
It is a little bit older than teenager though, but young 20s.
but young to pass,
Young 20s, she said.
22.
22. Okay. All right. And when I talk young, I'm feeling he still had he wasn't a mature 22-year-old.
Not sure. Emotionally maybe immature, but otherwise he was pretty mature.
Okay. All right. Emotionally, he was not mature. All right. Because I'm feeling with him that when you got to know him, Val, he was funny, he was comical, he was entertaining.
Yes,
And he always, I feel like you and him did have a special bond with each other.
for sure.
And I feel like one of the things that he really enjoyed doing was keeping, and I want to use the word keeping a smile on your face.
He was funny. Yes.
He was what?
Funny.
Funny. Yeah. So he liked to keep a smile on your face to keep you laughing.
Yes.
And I feel also that he had the ability to pull the rug out from under you and do surprises.
Not sure.
Not sure. If that's not the case, then he would do things that were unexpected
At times, yes.
at times. Okay. But the anxiety is something that he dealt with for most of his life.
Yes.
And I feel like he even went into treatment for it.
he was not on medications and he was not in therapy, no.
No.
But we did take him to psychologist when he was very young, and we were told that he has anxiety. Yes.
Okay, because I feel like that did play an important role in him stepping out and being who he was.
Yes, he was very anxious. Yes.
Yeah, very anxious. And I'm feeling with that, I feel Val with him like he would have had, he'd almost be a little clingy to you at times.
Um, possibly he fluctuates.
So, but I'm feeling he wants to talk about being close to you because I'm feeling with him there were times where he could distance himself and make himself not available.
Yes.
But he wants to talk about the times where he was a little clingy to you, that he, because what he wants to talk about is the value of you nurturing him
Okay.
because you were there for him.
I would like to think so. Yes.
That's what I'm feeling between the two of you, and at times this segment, because we're not always 100%, one way or the other. But the times the clinginess, he would be like softer, more compliant. Yes, no,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
okay. And
Yes. Yes. Yes.
yes. And during those times, I felt you and him really could get to the heart of the matter because he did not like sharing his weak side.
You're correct. That's true.
And when he became that more clinging, that softer part of him, it's you could he was open to exposing himself to you.
I would say so. Yes.
Yeah. And I feel he left the earth very quickly.
Yes.
And I'm feeling with him, Val, it was he wasn't prepared to go, nor were you prepared to let him go.
It was unexpected.
Yeah, it was totally unexpected. And but while he was here, there wasn't a lot of freedom. He wouldn't allow himself the freedom of expression.
Yes. Yes.
And it was hard. You would know that it was hard for him to just, it was like he was being weighted down.
We found out it after he passed. Yes.
Yeah, that I just feel a real heaviness with him. So he's coming today, Val, to let you know that, hold on. What I'm feeling, Val, is a lot of responsibility that you could have done more.
He's conveying to you that I should have done more.
No, you feel within yourself you could have done more for him.
We didn't know how much in distress he was. I mean,
Right. And
it's hindsight right now. Yeah.
right. But he's here today, Val, to let you know that you did everything you possibly could. And he's
Well,
letting me know that you turned over every leaf, every stone, every opportunity to work with him. And I feel he's very grateful for that. And he's letting me know, Val, that there wasn't anything else you could have done given the circumstances.
Yeah, I've heard that before from other mediums. Yeah.
Okay. And to just focus on the love that you shared, those moments where he was not as guarded. And that is what he wants you to stay focused on, not the lack of what you might have done with something you didn't know about.
Okay.
Okay. And
Yeah.
he wants to leave you with his love, and he wants to leave you with a smile on your face and just say, let you go and enjoy the days, the weeks, the months, the years ahead. And when you think of him as a smile and not something that you didn't turn over to discover, but think of him as a smile when you think of him going forward. And I'll leave you with his love.
Thank you so much. I'm trying. Yesterday was 6 years anniversary of his passing.
I'm sorry, Val. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Val. Thank you, Barbara. Pleasure having you here today. And let's move over to our friend, Tim.
Thank you, Sandra. And Barbara, your kindness always shines through. I love listening to your readings. So thank you as well. As I am connecting a bit more to the spirit world, I do feel I have Mom here, and Mom, Mom would have a favorite memory, it seems, of an encounter with a camel. She got to meet a camel. And she's also letting me know that her daughter has uh, a special appreciation for Egypt. So those are two things I think I'm just going to stay there for a bit. So this is Mum in Spirit who got to meet a camel. That was very exciting. And also my daughter is a fan of Egypt.
Thank you very much. That's very specific. All
It
right,
is.
friends, who can understand this information? Press your raise hand button. We will patiently wait. Dana has her hand raised. Dana, if you could find that unmute button. Hi, Dana.
Hi. I will tentatively say this might be for me. Um,
Tentatively. Okay.
yeah,
Let me see if we can work through this, Dana. Um, so Mum in Spirit, and she did meet a camel.
I don't know, but she traveled the world when she was young, so she may have.
Okay.
But it's the Egypt thing is
And
I
she's relaying that that would be an interest of yours.
yes,
Okay.
and we have a
Okay. Don't
special
tell me anymore.
memory.
Don't tell me anymore.
Yeah, okay.
Because we'll have her see. Okay. So if I can work with you, Dana, we'll see if we can get this worked out a bit. Because it's a contradiction with Mum. Mum, I feel, was very excited to, and it's about the camel. Now you mentioned about traveling as well, but I feel that Mum has special memories and she would get very excited about it. However, her personality was more on the quiet side.
Oh, that's definitely my yeah, very
Okay.
very quiet.
Okay,
Yep.
great. And I also do feel very much that she, um, it's funny, she's pushing to talk about my kids, but and then she kind of shrinks away about herself. So you'd understand that she's one that would love to talk about the family.
I'm the only child. This
You're the
might
only
not
child.
be for
Okay.
me.
So
It
she would
might
love
not
to
be for
talk
me.
about, yeah, she feels that it feels like she would love to talk about the kids or the kid, sorry.
Oh, well, I have grandkids.
Okay.
Maybe she'd love to talk about the grandkids.
Okay, and it also the flip side of that too, or the part that has to go with that as well, is that it's almost like she would like to operate in the shadows. She was very helpful, but she would do it almost anonymously.
Yeah, kind of. Yes, in a way. Yep,
Okay.
I can take that.
In a way to me means I need to stay there for a little bit longer just to get that kind of sorted out.
You're
Um,
no, you're pretty close. Yeah,
okay.
I
Um,
can take it.
so we'll stick to yes and no, and then we'll definitely make sure
Sorry.
it's mom because I know mom's got a lot of mom beams. Her smile beams. You know how certain people have that very broad, that very joyful smile. It does beam
Mhm.
from her. You'd understand that.
Yes.
And it also feels that she's a bit of a dynamo because she's not necessarily big in stature, but boy, can she really, when she wants to step in, she has a presence.
Uh,
Feel free to say
yes,
no. That's not quite
yes
right.
for small in stature, but no, not a dynamo.
Okay, so the dynamo, I'll stay there for a second because the small in stature, that fits her anonymous sort of demeanor and doing things on, so that she doesn't necessarily need to have the kudos. She doesn't need to hear those things. She just does it because she does it. I feel that that's part of her as well. But
Hmm.
the,
That I don't I can't answer that with a yes or no question.
okay,
All right, with a
um,
yes or no.
okay, let's stick with mom here. We'll get here in a bit.
Okay, if it's not for me, it's okay.
No, that's fine. We'll work with that. Um, There's a strong sense of her learning to be independent. She wasn't always independent to the degree that she had to be, but eventually she became more on her own.
I can take that.
Okay. It feels too that, again, she likes to reflect towards your direction. So she's also pointing that you have become more independent as time has gone on.
Yes.
And more independent in both cases from her is meaning more understanding self and being more naturally yourself.
Yes.
Okay. Um, Now it also I get a sense from her that she would cover all her bases. She would make sure that if and she's pointing towards trips, so before leaving, she would make sure everything was aligned properly.
Yes.
And that that includes her house, which had to be spotless, even though nobody would be there.
Uh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And I also kind of get the sense too, the minute that she came back, she had to go and clean again. And that must have been very important for her.
Yes.
Uh, okay, so I'm getting a better sense of that. There is a strength to your mom that so she's not quite bigger than life. She there is a very strong side of her in which she was not easily coerced or
Correct.
convinced to change her mind.
Oh, correct. Yep.
And I feel, though, that she was well studied. In other words, she would investigate, she would find out what the truth was or what facts were, but then that's what she would stick with, what she knew.
Yes.
And I, okay, and she's coming up with the word obstinate. So mom would sometimes even be obstinate.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I feel that she's bouncing that towards conversations with yourself in which, um, yeah, no matter how much you try to tell me, I know what I'm right. When I'm right, I'm right.
Yes.
Okay. But I have to also say with mom, that almost sounds like someone that's quite powerful and headstrong. That's not her though. She just knew her stuff.
Correct.
Yeah. Uh, she's going back to tidying and cleaning as well. Um, because I know her kitchen is spotless, and there must be some. She's referring to how her kitchen, everything would sparkle and shine from windows to faucets to even the kitchen table. I feel there's metal around there that she would have had sparkling.
Yes. A tentative yes.
A tentative yes. Okay, I'm going to just stay there for a little bit before moving on here because I know Mum wants to talk about you and yourself there. Um, her attention to detail is a really key part of mom.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And that's where she's talking about being organized before she left, the home always being organized because you never know, someone may come and visit, but also how everything was clean. Like it's not like chlorine clean. It's just free of dust. Everything it just was almost like perfect. Um, so that's
I
her attention to detail there.
Yeah, I can take an aspect of that.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Okay.
think I understand what she's trying to convey. Yes.
Okay. Um, Now, she's also relaying before she goes to you directly that it was important for manners. So manners to her were a
Yes.
really key thing. Not just
Yes.
etiquette, but it's where it's coming from. It's coming from the heart. It's got to be polite.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Emphatic yes.
Okay. Um, and she's coming in with a lot of love here. She's saying um, how much in the time. Okay. Okay, how much in the time that's gone by that she's been with you a lot? She's also saying that she's pointing towards a little bit of high and emotional lows. I go back, I think she's saying in the last 6 months that there were some little trials and tribulations. Would you understand that?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
and she has been there, and I feel from her that she has heard you call her in almost to talk with her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she's verified that she's always there is what she's verifying, but she
Yes.
definitely is there in those times in which you feel that you may be working on something entirely by yourself. She is there. She wants to emphasize.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so
So
much.
yeah, and with that and her love, I thank you, Dana.
Thank you very much. I needed to hear that. I appreciate you very much.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. Yeah. And I thank your mom too, actually. Um, okay. And it seems like we're going we're going to play fair here, and I have a father coming in now. Um, okay. There's a sternness to Dad that is in appearance only, and he's also letting me know that at the end of the day was not the time to disturb him. He had his chair, and I believe he's saying he had his pipe as well. So there is a sternness to him, but it's not harsh. It's just he needs his space when he has his space. So you would also need to recognize that at the end of the day, he had his chair, his special chair, and that there would have been time that he had to totally check out, and then he would engage with the kids. And that's Dad. And I'll send that out there and see if anyone can understand that.
Thank you so much. Who can understand this information for Dad? Please press your raise hand button. Jillian has her hand raised. Jillian, if you can find that unmute button and press it for us. Jillian, hello.
Oh, hi,
Hello.
There,
Jillian.
Jillian. Yeah, oh, we can hear you. Yes. Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good.
Good. And you can understand all of that information, correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. And it feels like because Dad really wants to get to the gets to the point here, and it feels like it's he's very careful at how people understand him. He would be a little no nonsense, but he wasn't one, or he could still enjoy a good laugh.
Yes.
Okay, and it feels as if business before pleasure. So business had to happen first, and then you could enjoy yourself.
Yes.
And he also wants to take me back to those times in which he could be a little gruff if someone was interrupting his me time.
Yes.
Um, okay. There also is he had high expectations for himself, but also for family.
Oh, yes.
And it feels as if he was a man who really liked to live a patterned life. He knew when things would happen at certain times of the day.
Oh, yes.
And it feels as if supper is a big part of that. He's taking me to a specific
Yeah.
time of day. And if it wasn't quite ready when it should be, when it normally is, you would hear about it. He wouldn't be brutal, but he would hear about it.
Yeah.
And if you didn't hear about it, you could tell in his huffing and puffing, it feels like from the chair, there'd be a lot of moving around and you knew something was up.
Yes.
And staying with there for a second, he was, if you want to call it good, he was quite good at expressing his emotions without speaking. You knew how he was feeling.
Yes.
And it feels as if that would be the little sentinel ahead of time so that you would be able to tell something was up and dad was about to go for it here before he would actually be verbal.
Yes.
And I don't want to say that dad was really brutal verbally, but he at times could be cutting.
Yes.
And it's like
Yes.
he knew what to say um, in the fewest amount of words, to make the point.
Yes.
And I feel actually he's making me aware that as he got older, that was even more so.
Yes.
Okay. Um, he was a good provider though for the home.
Oh, yes.
And he wants me to go there for sure because um, okay, he's relaying. Of course, we can talk about sort of his personality. It's very important to him to be understood. We can talk about his personality at times, but his heart and soul was making sure the family was well provided for.
Yes. And they still are.
Yeah, yeah. Um, he must have a grandson that he really enjoyed while he was here.
Um, I can take that. Yes.
Yeah, there's an affinity that he's highlighting that sort of he's kind of like a chip off the old block. He's the young one who
Yeah.
kind of understands the way things are according to dad.
Oh, yes. Exactly like him.
Yeah, the way it should be. Yeah. Okay. So he's kind of giving a shout out to him just to acknowledge him as well and to say, of course, keep going. Keep you're on the right track in his opinion, so keep going that
Yes.
route as well. He's also coming in with that sort of apology about being a little gruff at times, especially when you were younger. It feels as if there were times in which a little bit like a bull in a china shop, and he wasn't fully aware of hurt feelings until right after the fact. How he had gone a bit far. Not sure if you can understand that.
I can. Yes, I
Yeah.
can.
Yeah. So not so much acknowledged while he was here with us, but now from the other side, he is pointing out that he felt the feelings. It just sometimes it was more important for him to be on time and exact and in his pattern. And so he's apologizing that sometimes
Yes.
that overshadowed the love between the two of you, the nature that existed between the two of you. So, and with that apology too, he's giving his love, and he is, as in the previous reading, wanting to acknowledge that he is there when you do call him, but also especially in the times in which I'm going to get this from him because he has to be precise. In the times in which you feel you wish he was there, that's when exactly he is there. He's there all the time, but in those moments of doubt, that's it. Slight doubt, he is absolutely there. And I feel that there was a time close to his passing that you would have held his hand. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
So he's giving the image of when he's there holding your hand and seeing you through it.
Okay. Thank you.
So thank you, Jillian, and I thank your dad as well for coming through. And
Thank
Sandra,
you.
thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much, Tim. And thank you, Barbara. I want everyone just to imagine something. You've heard it said before, when we get to the spirit world, we communicate telepathically through thought. Well, guess what? You, my friend, are a soul having a human experience, and that power is available. The problem is so often we chuck it off to our imagination, but that's what's happening. Our loved ones come through all the time, and we can brush it off. But if you get a thought out of nowhere, that's them, or a memory out of nowhere, that's them. So I want everyone to just consider, if you've never taken a class with psychic mediumship, you don't ever have to be a medium, but just know how your soul communicates, awaken your soul. And we have a lovely class going on right now with Tim and our friend Shirley Ann, also a medium, while our medium tutors, Carrie and Phil, are traveling. But it's 5 sessions this October. It started this past Thursday, but you get all the videos, so you can join live or you can watch the videos. But just get in touch with how that soul works, because we all, like I said, we beg and plead that our loved ones come through on a Sunday gathering. But meanwhile, we've heard today through the loved ones that they're always there with us. Yes, they continue to learn and grow and experience, but they're with us. They're part of our lives. So if you're interested in that, you can find everything coming up at wedon'tdie.com. You can click on the store page and see everything coming up. In fact, tonight, in 3.5 hours' time, we have a new film coming out called Evidence of the Afterlife, Saving Evidential Mediumship. And Carrie and Phil, our tutors, are the main people in the documentary. You'll see many of the faces from our classes, and many of the people on our Sunday gathering are in it as well. It's going to be on the big screen in Deltona, Florida. And by the end of the month, we'll have it available to you. It's a really wonderful film. So you can enjoy that. We'll keep you posted on that. Also, coming up tomorrow, our friend Scott Milligan, medium Scott Milligan, and myself, there's a new class starting called Trance in the Altered States. Different kind of mediumship. It is an opportunity for you and your soul really to quiet that busy mind and feel that gentle connection, whether it's your guides, inspirers, your loved ones, or the wisdom of your own soul. So that's a special class. We offer what's called Sitting in the Power, both through Tim and through Scott Milligan. It's an opportunity to just quiet your mind for an hour and just kind of recharge the spiritual battery. On Friday, we'll be back together with Scott for a trance medium demonstration, also sitting for healing as part of what's called In the Arms of Eternity. If you want to find out more about Barbara or Tim, you can go to iheartmedium.com to find Barbara and her website and all the good things that she does. And to find Tim, you can just go to psychicmediumtim.com. Very, very easy to find. It's also on wedon'tdie.com. You can find my newest podcast episodes, now well over 750. Oh my goodness. If you want to go to the Sunday gathering link, you can register for next week's Sunday gathering. You can also watch a whole bunch of the replays. And I want to do a special shout out because there are those of you who have donated to make our Sunday gathering possible. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts. The expenses are high with all the equipment and everything, Zoom, but we really appreciate it. If you choose to donate, you could do that on the Sunday gathering page. If not, no worries. But I really want to thank those who have made our Sunday gathering available to all today. Thank you so much. As we go into the week, I know in my mind I'm thinking about dogs, but whatever you took out of the Sunday gathering today, put it into action a little, whether it's forgiveness, thinking about purpose, thinking about what would a dog or cat do, living in the present moment, whatever that is that you got out today. It's lovely to be inspired when we're here for an hour and a half, but the real practice is to pay it forward and use it in our life. There is a beautiful quote by Mother Teresa that I just love. Spread love everywhere you go. Let no one ever come to you without leaving happier. So if you haven't picked one thing to pay attention to this week, maybe that's it. And what a gift that would be. Every interaction that someone is left happier because they've been with you. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Tim for our closing prayer.
Thanks, Sandra. And as we close the service together collectively, if you're comfortable, please feel free to close your eyes. We are grateful for this opportunity, Great Spirit, to be together, to share moments, to get that nudge from Spirit to attend events such as this so that we can be a little bit more enriched. Each of us is searching. Each of us has a journey to follow. And your guidance and the guidance of our loved ones and our Spirit team on the other side are so appreciated. They help us through those moments that do get tough. And they help us walk one more step towards that joyful existence in the afterlife ourselves. And we give thanks for this. Amen.
Thank you so much, Tim. And thank you so much, Barbara. What a pleasure. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. And to our friends in the spirit world, we'll do our very best to quiet our minds and pay attention when you're here. Now, that being said, we've got a closing song. It's a rendition of Count on Me by Bruno Mars with a lovely slideshow, just remembering for us all that you're never alone. You can count on us. But more importantly, you've got a whole team in the spirit world that you can count on as well. Let me find that closing song for you now. Another great song. You'll see Tim next week and our friend Kathy next week and myself. Everyone have a great week. Thanks again, Barbara and Tim. We'll see everybody soon. Bye. Have a great week. Bye, bye, bye.